The family of Thamina Mahmood is in a jubilant mood following the release of the pregnant woman who was one of the abducted passengers in the Abuja train attack, which was nearly 2 months ago by the terrorists. Well, Mrs. Mahmood was said to have been released in a compassionate spirit after she and 61 others had spent 5 days in captivity. One of her concerned relatives, Sani Musa, confirmed the development today, and shortly after her release, there was a viral video of her appealing to the federal government to negotiate with the terrorists to free the remaining captives. Her release brings to 2 the number of hostages freed so far by the terrorists, the first being the managing director of the Bank of Agriculture, Alwan Hassan, after paying a ransom of 100 million naira to gain his freedom. And in the meantime, the Northern Governors Forum has called for calm following the killing of Deborah Emmanuel, a student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, over alleged blasphemy. The chairman of the forum and governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, said the forum is concerned about the situation in the state, noting that any attempts to adopt self-help in addressing grievances, whether religious or otherwise, could lead to further chaos. The forum commiserated with the family of the victim, the governor of the state, Aminu Tambuwal, and appealed the security agencies must be allowed to thoroughly investigate the matter. In the meantime, a combined team of security personnel have been detached to ensure compliance to the 24-hour curfew imposed on the state by the governor, Aminu Tambuwal. And also, Islamic cleric Ahmad Gumi has condemned the killing of Deborah Emmanuel over the Holy Prophet, saying the Holy Prophet, didn't kill those who insulted him during his lifetime. In speaking during a religious teaching class in Kaduna, the Islamic cleric said the Prophet didn't avenge the insults targeted at him by non-Muslims because he didn't want to be tagged as a killer. Mr. Gumi said no one is allowed to take laws into his or her hands in Islam, adding that the best way Muslims can show love is by obeying the teachings of the Prophet. He added that no religious law can be applied in Nigeria since the country is a secular state. Meanwhile, the remains of Deborah Emmanuel has since been laid to rest in her hometown in Niger State. Well, in other matters, more than 2,000 bags of urea, fertilizer and other contraband goods worth over 68 million naira were intercepted by the Adamawa Taraba Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service last month. It is believed that Boko Haram insurgents often used urea in the manufacture of explosive devices. It is for this reason that a restriction is in place by the Nigeria government preventing urea from being transported to the northeastern region. And our correspondent Owolabi Adenusi filed in this report.
In April, over 8 persons were killed by bomb planted in a local joint in Taraba State, with over 20 others sustaining life-threatening injuries. Security personnel were main target as explosive devices were thrown into the military base not far from the House of Assembly on Sabogeri Road by passerbys through the fence. The Adamawa Taraba Custom Command has stepped up its game on restriction of movement of urea fertilizers through its jurisdiction. The controller in the command showed concern at the rate at which smugglers ship in urea fertilizers. At a press conference, it disclosed that its men, through intelligence report, were able to intercept over 2,140 bags of urea fertilizers around the nation's border communities in the north.
With the duty paid value of over 68 million naira. The items include 2,140 bags of 50 kg each of urea fertilizer seized only in April.
The command also carried out wide consultations with stakeholders in the 2 states on danger of smuggling urea fertilizer into their domains.
Urea that you have as a fertilizer, now that we know it can be used for agricultural purpose, and can even be used again to manufacture explosive. And because of the security situation in the Northeast, the government said that brand of fertilizer should not be allowed, and is being smuggled into the state.
The renewed effort of the custom men will go a long way in frustrating the effort of the outlawed in accessing urea fertilizers. Citizens also hope that those behind the smuggling of the product into the Northeast without government approval will be apprehended.
Well, let's take you to Benue State, where Samuel Ortom has challenged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to come clean in its fight against corruption. He said this when a delegation of participants in the Executive Intelligence Management Course 15 from the National Institute of Security Studies in Abuja paid him a visit at the government house in Makurdi. We have more in this report.
Of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 15 participants are from the National Institute for Security Studies. They are here to obtain first-hand information concerning governance, development and security situation in Benue State. Leader of the delegation, Godwin Ometu, told the governor that the course was a flagship program of NISS. He explains that part of the course requirements is that the participants at the end of the program will submit recommendations and implementation strategies to the federal government, and requested that Benue State government to key into the program.
Every single course has its own theme, and the theme for this year's course is climate change, basically, and we have coined it the Global Climate Challenge, Prospects and Priorities for Economic Development and Conflict Resolution in Africa. Because we know that a whole lot of security challenges we have these days can be traced to the effects of climate change.
The governor commended the participants for choosing Benue State as part of their study tour and urged them to take the study seriously and proffer practical solutions to solving the insecurity that has bedeviled the nation. He seizes the opportunity to express displeasure over the action of the EFCC to freeze the accounts of the Benue State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, meant to take care of internally displaced persons in the state. According to the governor, the anti-corruption agency has exhibited the height of impunity by its selective war against financial crimes in the country.
But it is inhuman and devilish for EFCC to seal an account of state emergency who are meant to feed the IDPs. 1.6 million IDPs. You bring a trailer load of Indomie. What impact will that make? My people are dying. My people are hungry. I can't continue to keep quiet.
The governor also called on the federal government to rise to its constitutional responsibility to secure the lives and property of Nigerians, pointing out that if the country must develop economically, security is paramount. Mayowa Okwato, TVC News.